All right, well, let's get into this Tottenham update. First up is David Ornstein talking about potential transfer plans going into the summer. And he says Tottenham now have money from winning the Europa League, entering the Champions League, so they will get busy in the transfer market. I mean, I'm sick and tired of hearing this at the beginning of every single transfer window that we go into. Just go and do it. Just go and do it. Like we're into so unknown right now with the manager, director of football. Like, how can we even start planning if these things aren't ironed out yet?
Yeah, that's the thing. Exactly. Paratici has to come in. We have to confirm that. We haven't really confirmed that yet. We need to decide on the manager. We need to decide on all these different things. Recruitment, are they going to want recruitment people? Fabio's going to bring some recruitment people to the club. They're going to want to compile their own list of transfers. And while we're doing all this, other clubs are making moves in the transfer market. They're getting their They're running already with their lists and they're getting deals done. Cunha's already off the market now. He's made a move to Man United. You know, other clubs are making moves in this position. So we've got to get a move on. I absolutely agree. No use all this saying, yeah, we're gonna no use saying we're gonna move quick in the track. Well, we're gonna make moves in the market. We're already behind. We need to start making moves now.
Yeah. Next up, we are going to talk about Cuti Romero, as Fabrizio Romano says that Romero's situation is one to follow, as currently there's no active conversations over extending his contract. With Champions League football, Daniel Levy will try his best to keep Romero despite strong interest, especially from Spain. And Dan Kilpatrick says that whether Postecoglou stays or goes could factor into whether Romero is willing to stay at Tottenham this summer, as the defender is close with the manager. Which that's an interesting one. Yeah, especially after Romero, I mean, what Postecoglou said about Romero after the press conference yesterday.
Yeah, and we've heard that throughout the season, that wasn't it? I think it was after the Chelsea game. Obviously, Romero did that thing against the board, and you know, we've heard that he's been one of the ones defending Ange a lot of the time, and he's one who's very much fully behind Ange. So it's quite interesting. Well, what's interesting is Romero staying or not. You know, does Ange staying means he signs a contract, or just means he's willing to stay? There's kind of, I think there's two different questions. So whether he signs a contract, I don't know. I just think if Ange leaves, maybe he's like, look, I'm just out now. I want to leave immediately. But if Ange stays, maybe he's like, look, I'm willing to stay, but I'm still not willing to sign a contract potentially. I don't know if it's possible right now for him to get him to sign a contract. That's the problem.
Yeah, I just don't know if the hierarchy will let it like rumble on like they did with Harry Kane. I know we got good money in the end for Harry Kane, but Harry Kane's a bit of a different. I mean, look, Romero's a significant player as well, one of the best defenders, you know, that we've seen since Toby and Jan, or maybe even the best since Toby and Jan. But like, with 2 years left in his deal come this summer, this is like the last chance to get real top whack for him, if we can get it, and it's obviously going to be decreasing year by year.
I mean, yeah, this
will
season,
Levy let it go past 2 years?
This season you're looking at, you know, 70-80 million.
Yeah.
Next season you're probably still looking at 40 to 50, I would say.
That's just money back.
As I'm saying, that's money, but yeah, true, but still, it's like not, you're losing 20-30 million. It's not like, I mean, that if you get Champions League football off the back of it, you can say it's worth it.
Yeah, but also that's a big if we're getting Champions League football for the back.
Well, if we don't, then he's leaving anyway. Well, we got bigger problems.
Yeah, but if you're thinking about it from like Daniel Levy's perspective, like 20, 30, potentially 40 million is significant, really significant.
Yeah, but I think Ange is so right though, is when he says if he leaves, who are you going to replace him with? There's not many people like him.
That's the way I'm thinking. But it all depends on where Romero's mindset is at. Like, because if his mindset is at like, look, I just don't want to be here anymore, I want to go to Spain, then you have to just let him go. That's the reality. If he is willing to stay here, then there's a conversation to be had. Do you let him run down that contract? I don't know, but it all depends on his mindset. And like, I don't know, why wasn't he at the stadium yesterday?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a bit of a weird one. Vice captain, not there last day of this.
And he was there at the parade, and
yeah.
There at the parade and wasn't there. It's not like Decky who couldn't come back. He was there. They didn't come. I don't know if he let him go on holiday early or something. Is that
significant in this development?
Potentially. Maybe it is. I don't know. It's hard to say exactly why. I can't, you know, I'm not not close to him, so I can't tell you. Maybe he has a reason, which is a personal reason he couldn't be there for one or something. But it is odd, for sure. It's odd. It leaves a question mark, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Especially like we know that
all the rumors of him leaving,
with Atletico, playing under Simeone, going to his comments about going to play in Spain and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's not looking good. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, at the moment, if I were to put money on it, I would say he's leaving for sure right now.
And if he does leave, it does put us back massively, because I think Romero and Van der Ven have built such a good relationship on the pitch. And when they play, like Ange said, we have a much more significant chance of winning than we do if they're both not playing. And if Romero does leave, who can we replace him with that comes in straight away and clicks as well as they do?
Yeah, I just hope as well, as much as I think they're good defenders, I really hope we don't sell Romero and think Danso and Dragosino are the answer, really. Because I don't see that being the case, especially in Champions League. Like, are they going to be the answer when we're playing in that competition? I just don't. I think they're good, don't get me wrong, but Dragosino's young. Danso is a good defender, don't get me wrong, but he's nowhere near Romero's level. Like, let's not get it twisted. He's good, but he's. I don't know. I think Europa League might be his level. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's a Champions League level defender, Danso. So like, these are good players, but I really hope we don't think, oh, okay, we've signed these guys and they're going to be the answer to replacing Romero. Yeah. I just don't think right now they are.
But also, we can't just keeping to stockpile defenders, because we've got
also a problem.
Vuskovic coming back, we've got Phillips coming back, we've got Danso. Like, the only reason we brought in Danso is because of Dragosino's injury, and he's going to be back at the start of next season. So something's got to give. We can't just keep stockpiling.
I'll consider selling Dragosino, I think.
Yeah, potentially. But again, like, if we do make a manager change, and let's say we do bring in a Glasner or an Inzaghi or something like that, Dragosino would be really good for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, obviously avoid the headache if Romero stays, but we'll see.
Yeah. Footy Insider says Tottenham are not considering parting ways with Son Heung-min this summer. So it looks like he is. Yeah. But I do feel it is true.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think he's just going to see out his 1 year.
Yeah, so it looks like we probably will be going into Sonny's last year at the club next season.
Although, is there a chance like we'll go into the season thinking, okay, it's going to be his last year, and then he just has such a good season, we have to give him an extension?
I hope that's the case.
It's happened before with other players. Like, I remember Aubameyang, like at Arsenal, he was going to his last year, and they looked like they was going to just let him go, and then he had such a good season. They just had, or end of the season anyway. Like, they signed him up on a new deal. Like, there's always, you never, like, when players are playing for a new deal, sometimes it can unlock something else in them.
But also, now Son's won the trophy, I feel like he'll probably think, like, look, my time's probably, like, he'll probably want to move on for himself.
Yeah, he might do. Yeah, it's a good chance of that as well.
Yeah.
Just see how he's won last year. Have one more year at Tottenham, like as a tour around what's
club legend.
As a club legend, and then walk into the sunset. I don't know where he would go after, but I think it's likely to be his last year.
There's always been rumours that he wants to end his career in Korea, back in where he, I don't even know, he never played in Korea, so I think he might want to end his career in Korea.
Yeah, but he's still, he'll be 30, so he's 33 now? Or
he's
32
now, so by this time next year he'll be 33.
Yeah, so, I mean, he might feel like he's got couple years left in him to play at a good level. Before, he can go to Korea at like 37.
True.
Go to Korea at 40. and still get a club.
I just don't see him going to somewhere like Saudi.
No, but I think he can still play at a top level. I don't know whether he'll go in as a starter at a top team, but like, I think top teams will still look at it. A good team, would still look at him, I think. Like, maybe someone like an Inter, maybe, I don't know, something. Yeah,
I could see an Inter or a Milan, AC Milan, someone like that. Maybe even back to the Bundesliga. Bundesliga suits him.
Yeah, could go back to Bundesliga. He speaks German.
So next up, last but not least, we'll talk about Ryan Mason, as TalkSport have brought up that Tottenham assistant manager Ryan Mason is the leading candidate to join West Brom to be their manager next season.
Yeah.
And if he does end up going there, that might end up being an attractive proposition for some loans for our academy players.
And maybe we're definitely going to be taking a very keen eye on how he does, I'm sure, in terms of future, because we know him, the club know him very well. I think, we've obviously made him interim a couple of times, and he's very highly thought of at Tottenham. So if he does a good job, wouldn't be surprised if one day he's back here. So I think we'll definitely be keeping a good eye. And look, it's a fairly big job for you. I know it's other managers have had bigger first jobs, but for someone like Mason, I know he's managed Tottenham, an interim basis, but West Brom's a pretty good club to be your first managerial job. So if he does well there, it's quite impressive.
Yeah. No.
So good luck to him if he goes there.
I hope he does go there, because I think like he needs to go out of Tottenham for a little bit and just to
find himself.
Yeah, find himself, further his career, make a real start in his career, because his first job is never going to be the Tottenham job. Mm-hmm. It's just not going to happen. So he needs to go make a name for himself in this game and see if he can fulfill the potential that Spurs think he has. And if he does, then, he could be future manager here one day. Mm. But yeah, it was really nice to see Ryan Mason on the bus and everything. Like the amount of years he's been here. He's probably been at Spurs the longest out of everyone in the whole club.
Yeah, I would say so.
So all the struggle that he's had to go through, the injury that he's had and everything, to celebrate that trophy, it must have been unbelievable.
I mean, in 2008, I think he played a game for us. I think. Like, I remember in Europa League, I think it's like...
So was he in the squad when we won the cup in 2008?
No, but...
Was he at the club?
No, it was the season after.
He must have been at the club, though.
At the club, he was, yeah. But I'm saying the season after, I think it was... Was it him? Maybe it wasn't him.
That's mad, isn't it? Ryan Mason was at the club when we last won a trophy.
Yeah, he was in the youth.
Yeah, but still, he was at the club.
Yeah. He was... I'm pretty sure he made an appearance in Europa League against Den Haag, I think, in a Europa League game the season after we won the trophy. Then obviously, what was it? Actually, I can't remember. I think he might have been in a squad, maybe. But obviously, he played in 2014. He was playing for Tottenham, but I think he's been there. I think he was in the youth like 2006, 2007 at the time.
Oh, yeah.